Cue tracks.
And welcome to the pre-fight press conference for GE Fights Unforgiven. The main event, Gabe Eurit versus Simeon Teague for the 145-pound title. We're joined tonight by a lot of our competitors for this upcoming fight. It's going to be a great fight card in Sullivan, Indiana, next Saturday night, January 27th. Co-promotion with Coleman Kickboxing Entertainment. There is 18 MMA matchups and 9 kickboxing events. So we're going to have a full schedule for everybody. Brought to you by the people at the Vault Sports Bar and Grill in Linton, Indiana. We'll start off by who's all on here. Ready to kick off tonight. We have Elijah Riviera. We have the food truck, Cody Gosnell, the champion, Simeon Teague, Curtis the Hammer Ferguson, the challenger, Gabe Eurit, Quinton Doomsday Watson. We'll get right into it. Now, everybody who's watching on the Griggs Entertainment Facebook page and or YouTube page, this is fully interactive. So if you'd like to drop a comment, send a question to one of our fighters, feel free to do it now. We'll be able to pull it up and you'll be able to see your question and get it answered by these guys. All right, so I want to start off with who we have in here. Let's go with Elijah Riviera. Elijah's coming off his first victory in MMA, went 3 rounds. It was a fight of the night performance. It went to the distance. So Elijah, I want to ask you if you could get yourself off mute, please. Elijah, I want to ask, how does it feel to know that you can take yourself to the full 3 rounds?
It feels pretty good. It's something that, you sometimes never get to see. So it's awesome to be able to see that in the first fight. And I honestly learned as much as I can learn whenever that happens. So the full 3 rounds, the first fight definitely gave me a lot of experience. And I think this fight, we'll see a little bit difference because of that.
Now you're talking about seeing something a little bit different. Have you changed training camps? How has your training been going? Are you still with Mikey Gilman? Kind of give us an idea of what we could see next Saturday night.
I'm still with Mikey Gilman. I also trained with a cousin who he used to go to McVickers. He's a jiu-jitsu specialist, so we also train over there as well. I'm at both places, and honestly, I'm just putting in work. I'm kind of fresh. Last year, I ended up coming in, pretty late. So honestly, I'm looking for a pretty great year this year, and excited to go to Terre Haute March 23rd. So I'm pretty happy, and this fight I think is a stepping stone to what's going to be a great year for me, I think.
Now, taking on Connor Poe, who's kind of an unknown in the MMA world, he has a handful of kickboxing matches. To me, it's a striker versus grappler matchup. How do you see this fight taking place? Obviously, I think Connor's going to want to stand and trade. What's your idea of if he does? Or is it the game plan to take him to the ground, or are we going to stand and try to bang?
No, we're going to stand. We're going to show everything that we've improved on. The right hand was obviously exposed in last fight, so you know, we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna change it up with some kicks, and we're gonna have a game plan to be on the feet. So we're excited for wherever it goes, and Connor's gonna be in for a fun run.
Awesome. So, appreciate you joining us tonight, Elijah. If we got any questions for Elijah, feel free to shoot them in. We'll move on to the food truck. Obviously, one of the most interesting characters ever in Griggs Entertainment. The food truck kind of came onto the scene through Fight Flicks. Coming off of the last event, you had the entrance of the night. You had the crowd on their feet. Obviously, the biggest pop of the night, and you come away with a victory. So, Chance, coming into a fight against Tanner the Tank Thompson, who's 0-1, have you changed your mindset, or are you just taking the momentum that you started with your last fight and trying to just move this into what we're going for now?
So I'm not really too worried about Tanner the Tank Thompson. He's got a glass jaw from hell. He got dropped in the last 40 seconds of his fight, or the first 40 seconds of this fight. So I'm not too worried. But I do plan on the crowd being back on their feet, and we're all going to have a great show.
So, Tanner, go ahead and respond to that. Obviously, this is going to be your first matchup in Griggs Entertainment, going against the food truck, who is going to have probably the crowd on his side. Now, as we've talked in the past, you don't care about crowds. You just come to fight. Kind of give us some expectations of what you're looking for. As you told me, you're driving 3.5 hours, and you're going to go home with a win.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I've been training real hard. I'm just ready to put my skills on display. He can think what he wants about my previous fights. They don't do it justice for what I'm going to bring to the table this time.
So, Chance, I want to go back. As of last year with Jason Gonzalez, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, are you still representing that team? Have you moved on? What has your training camp been like heading up to this fight?
Yeah, I'm still at Jason's, and I plan on being there for a while. This training camp, it's been a lot like the last one, pretty intense. We go pretty hard. So I just can't wait. I just think I seen little Tanner's post about how he's going to mangle me. I don't think you're going to mangle shit. So hopefully you bring a bigger fight than the last guy. I do hope that, and I do think you will. So let's hopefully put that on the table.
Yeah, I was disappointed the last guy didn't really bring much to offer in that fight, did he?
Yeah, I know I can go 3 rounds. So,
Tanner, how do you see this fight playing out? Obviously, Food Truck has a lot of film on himself, not only just in the cage, but in the backyard. He is a brawler with a good chin. Do you have a way that, or do you feel that you have the power to put him away?
I feel like we're going to put on a good show. It's going to be a 3-round brawl for sure. He's got a hell of a chin on him as well. But I don't plan on it going 3 rounds. We'll see. This is going to be a tough dog fight to the end. I'm excited.
All right, moving on to a 155-pound matchup. Curtis the Hammer Ferguson versus Caleb Mcnight. We'll start with Curtis Ferguson. So, Curtis, you've had some time away from the cage, some personal issues, some other things. Your last matchup, opponent no-showed. You didn't get to show off your skills. How are you feeling moving into this matchup come January 27th?
Oh man, I'm ready. I'm ready to throw everything on the line right now at this point. I haven't been training as much, but I have been working out and whatnot. But like I said, it's just an experience thing, you know what I mean? I feel like I have more experience.
Well, you're coming off of a knockout of the night and a knockout of the year contender in Phil Wagner in the first round. Took that fight on 2 weeks' notice. Not much training, not knowing much of what Phil brought. Now you're a wrestler by trait, but you have power in both of your hands. Are you feeling comfortable wherever the fight may go?
Very, very comfortable. If the fight goes to the ground, very comfortable. If it stands up, comfortable.
And Caleb, I'll move to you now. Your very first mixed martial arts competition. Now, you did compete in the Coleman Kickboxing Entertainment card last. You have exceptional power in both of your hands and your feet that I think can stop the fight with one shot. How has your training been? Because you've been under Jason Gonzalez moving up. You've proven, if you watch Caleb's last fight, his first kickboxing match, the first time in the cage, first time throwing for real. You come out on the losing end of the fight, but you showed massive power that I'm excited to see. If the bomb lands, what does it do? So Caleb, go ahead and kind of explain your training, what you're thinking of leading up to this fight, and what you're going to try to do to Curtis.
Man, I don't know. Best thing I know is that I love that embrace of fear, because stepping into the cage the first time set it off the whole time. So this upcoming matchup, I mean, I'm definitely ready. I've been doing the different type of martial arts. I've been doing all that stuff. I've been very highly favored in capoeira, so I've started in that all for a very good amount of time. I've got some backup stuff going on. I mean, I'm ready as can be. Whether it's stand up or ground game. Thank you.
And Curtis, I'll go back to you for one more thing. I know this matchup and the last matchup is going to be very emotional for you with the passing of your mother. I know it's going to be near and dear to your heart. You wanted to compete for her that last card. This is your opportunity. Does the emotion motivate you coming into next weekend?
Oh yeah, of course, Caleb. I'm motivated. Like I said, I'm not just doing it for myself anymore. I'm doing it for the respect of my name I'm carrying. So I'm gonna put the best. I'm gonna do the best I can, the best ability I can do it. You know what I mean? So
awesome. I appreciate both of you guys joining us tonight. I'm going to move on to Quinton Doomsday Watson. Now, Quinton, this is going to be your first time back in the cage since 2020. You were set to fight at 205 against Ryan the Reaper Hawkins. Unfortunately, an injury pulled him out. Now you have John Hassel, U.S. Marine, taking the fight on short notice, training with Coach James Martin. How has the opponent switch changed your mindset, if at all?
Yeah, so the opponent switch, I don't think it's really affected my mindset. I've been training to, like when we train at Lycanston MMA, we train to fight anyone. And so, yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's kind of frustrating when you have an opponent that's like saying training and everything, and then he backs out and says it's an injury. And then the next day you see him posting like videos of him going in the ocean or whatever and sparring with some other people. That's the frustrating part of it, because that put my fight in jeopardy. And I don't like that, because I've been gassed and everything that it takes to train for fights, man. And then getting those opponents to back out. That's the frustrating part. But no, like I said, we train to fight anyone. And it doesn't matter. This is mixed martial arts. It doesn't matter what your skill set it is. My mentality and my just experience and dedication is just going to beat. It doesn't matter who it is, it's going to beat it.
Now, as I mentioned, this will be your first fight since 2020. Do you feel that, I know you're training with a lot of good people, Steve-O Morris, obviously the Martin brothers. There's a lot of good guys in your camp. Do you feel that ring rust could be a factor?
No, I don't. I thought about that when I first told my coach that I was going to take this fight. I thought that it might be, but we got a cage. And every single day that I'm in the gym, I'm stepping in the cage, and I got some workout equipment set up in my basement at my house, and I just have been able to mentally prepare for it by just simulating the fight, doing the whole walkout and everything, and going through it that way. And no, I don't think ring rust is going to be a thing.
All right, I appreciate Quinton. We'll move on to what I think could be the fight of the night. We have Cody Gosnell versus Jonathan Fasano. Cody Gosnell coming off of a title challenger, unfortunate loss, and we have Fasano who's on a 2-fight winning streak. Cody, I'll start with you. Coming off of that title loss, it's very unfortunate, but does it motivate you to get to the back to the top? It's a coming on, being stopped so early. Are you frustrated with your performance, or are you frustrated that maybe it just wasn't your night? And does this motivate you to obviously turn around quicker and fight a guy who's coming up through the ranks and keep your name at the top of the mountain?
Yeah, that is a little bit to come into play. I do believe it was a little bit of a short thing for me in that championship fight. I trained way longer than that. I was ready to go the full round, 5 rounds. That's my whole intent with that fight, was I was going to take him to deep water and see where he was going to last. But I obviously didn't make it there. But with fighting this John coming up into this whole thing, I think it's going to be a great challenge for me to really see who's going to be sitting at the top of the division with me. I believe I'm at the top of the division. I believe that I'm going to take and end up fighting the champ again here real soon. So I think that I'll end up being the 55er champ, and that's the only way I see it going. But fighting John is going to be a test. It's going to be a show of my skill and his skill, to see where our differences are. I think it could go anywhere, honestly, with that fight. It could go to the ground, and it could go we could stay striking the whole night. I don't care where it goes. I'm good wherever. I would love to have a KO on my record, though. But that's where I kind of feel this is going to go. That's where I feel that I'm going to head towards. And coming off that championship, it has made me hungrier. Like, it made me really want to sit down and actually, like, fully dive myself into this sport, even head first, further than I already was.
Jonathan, you're moving up. You're on a 2-fight win streak, coming off of a massive knockout of the should have been knockout of the night. Obviously, Jeremiah took it away at the last second. But you've shown that you can wrestle, you have a submission game, and you have knockout power in your hands. Coming up to this matchup against Cody, you feel that you can still put him away just like you did Travion?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think there's a possibility, but I definitely think it's going to be war. I'm really just ready to get in there and fight, put on a show for everybody. Not much else I can say. Been training hard, working hard, ready to go. That's all.
Now, have you changed anything up coming with your camp? I've heard some things about Coach Bundy Martinez might be moving on here in the near future. I know a lot of guys are starting to come to other gyms. So how has your training camp been? Have you been where you've normally been, or have you switched up for this fight?
No, it's actually been real good. I moved to a new team, new coach. So my camp's been fantastic. I've been working hard, I think coach has got me ready to take this one and put it away, but I'm ready for war, like I said. So props to Cody. I think he's a good fighter, but shit, let's get it.
And Cody, one more for you. Obviously, after your last fight, you kind of moved to Coach James Martin's team full time. How do you feel that has elevated your game coming into this weekend?
I feel like it's elevated my game tremendously, because they have I had access to a cage, so I can really work when my ground and pounds, working off the cage, doing all that. They have tremendous fighters there. I know Quinton's on the team. He's a great fighter himself. Having him as a teammate and to help push through the camp has been great. John, James, great coaches, great guys to be with. They had their other coaches come in and help us out during this time, and I couldn't have asked for a better camp to be a part of.
Awesome. Let's move on to the main event of the night as soon as I can get this thing going. Ooh. All right. So Simeon Teague, who probably just got kicked out again, and Gabe Eurit. So, Gabe, I'll start with you being the challenger. 6-0. You spent some time away from your normal team for this camp. Normally around Coach Matt, Coach Jacob Herlock. You spent some time at Jackson Winklejohns in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Do you feel that that has given you this edge to come home with the gold on Saturday night? Gabe, if you can, unmute your mic, please. Uh-oh. Wrong button.
Shit, I'm just chilling.
Oh, there you go. I got
Can
you
you
now.
hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I think spending time down there was huge for me. I was able to get rounds with some very high level guys and kind of see where I fall, and that's ultimately the goal for me, is to be on that level, and it's good to see that I'm not far from it.
Now, this is an interesting matchup to me. One, we've tried to put it together in the past. Unfortunately, injuries have pushed it to the side. But you and Simeon have battled before in a kickboxing match a few years ago. You came away from the victory from that. But as this journey has come through, Simeon has obviously elevated his game. If you look at his record, he's 7-1. He's the number one ranked fighter in the Midwest. He's the number one ranked fighter in Indiana. Do you feel that you have also elevated your game to where you guys are still tit for tat the number one, number two best fighters in Indiana at 145?
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for Simeon. I think he is one of the best in the Midwest, but that was a kickboxing match and I barely came out on top. This is more so my game, MMA, and I don't know. Like I said, I got a respect for him, but I feel like everywhere in this fight, I'm better. And no matter where this fight goes, I'm going to come out on top.
We got our first media question. This one's going to be for Gabe Eurit. First question I have for Gabe. You finally have the fight that you've always wanted against the champion, Simeon Teague. How do you feel, and what predictions do you have for the main event?
I feel great. I'm super excited. My prediction, I'm going to get the finish. I don't know what round. I don't know how, but I'm going to get the finish.
So moving on to the champ, Simeon. So you've accumulated a great record of 6-1. You've took yourself from the bottom to the top. You're going to different territories. You just beat the number one fighter in Ohio. I was thinking about this earlier. You do a lot of things with a little. You don't have the big training camp. You don't have the big gym. You have the bare necessities to get you to where you have been, which is the champion status, almost like a real Rocky Balboa type story. Do you feel that hardens you and makes you that much better as a champion and motivates you to get past these tougher opponents? Oh, you may need to turn your mic on, Simeon. Boom. All right, while Simeon's figuring out his mic, if there's anybody in the comments that want to shoot the guys a question, feel free to send them. Still a little mic trouble with Simeon. Gabe, we'll move back to you real quick while Simeon gets his mic figured out. Coming into this, how much, I know that you're constantly fighting and constantly trying to move to the next level and get to your next best. How much has this fight been on your mind?
Yeah, this fight's been on my mind for a very long time. There's a few others too, but like I was saying earlier, I respect Simeon and I want the tough fights, man. And I think it was 2 years ago when we kickboxed. He hit me a few more times than I would have liked, and I just want to prove to a lot of people and myself that there is levels to this, and I believe I'm truly on that next level. So
awesome. Simeon, you got it working now?
Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Cool. Yeah, I can say yeah. I went through a lot. It's hard to train. I gotta use what I can. I don't got big gyms. I've been in big gyms, but a lot has happened. I keep wrecking my car. Oh, shoot, can you hear me? I keep wrecking my car.
Yep, you're good.
Those other gyms, but I mean, yeah, I'm happy to go against Gabe. I've been waiting to go against Gabe since my last fight with y'all when we were supposed to fight. I got a phenomenal respect for him. Like you said, he beat me in kickboxing. That's kickboxing. I just love this. I love this. I love everything about it. I believe I can come out with a victory. I don't know what round, but I know for me to win, gotta make it nasty. Gotta make it a dog fight. And I know I can do that. So I see a couple things that I have to do. I could say holes or whatever you want to say, but the main thing is staying diligent and stand on my P's and Q's. That's gonna get the victory.
Now, there's no doubt about it that both of you are the top tier of the amateur cards. Now, Simeon, I have seen online flirtation with possible retirement and no longer fighting. Is that still something that is on your mind, or is that kind of just I got to readjust myself?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm struggling. Hello?
Yep, you good.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh my God, man.
So, Gabe, one more for you. And this might be more of a Coach Matt, Coach Herlock question, but how long do you see yourself staying in the amateur ranks before moving up to the professionals?
Battery low.
I would like to collect a few more belts, maybe defend some. I don't know, this could change, but as far as right now, I'd like to fight 3 or 4 more times this year, and then maybe early next year make my pro debut. But that could change. It just kind of depends how things go in the future. Just where I'm at, I want to make sure I'm more than ready. I do believe that I'm already more than ready, and I'm a lot pros, but I just want to make sure I'm really there before I do.
Yep. And Simeon, one more for you. I've noted earlier that this is kind of Coach Bundy Martinez's probably final fight as a coach for most of the higher amateurs of the Midwest Warriors. Does this change any of your mindset heading into this weekend?
Of course not. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Truth be told, he's been talking about quitting for a little minute. So that doesn't change the way I feel and how I think about getting a victory. So nothing really matters when you get in the cage. I got a game plan, just like Gabe got a game plan, but nothing really matters until we get in there, and we both getting cracked, and we both, so it's like my mindset is taking this last win because I don't think I'm gonna be able to fight anytime longer unless a couple things change in my life. But right now, all I focus on is bringing that victory. I can't wait to be in the middle of that cage with him. I've been thinking about this fight for a long time, just like he has. He probably wanted it more because he won in that kickboxing fight. So to me, it's gonna be a good fight. Oh, sweet.
All right, we have a second question from the media. This one is for Food Truck. Bum, bum, bum. What has improved since your last fight against Chris Dinica? And can we see Sweet Caroline as the walkout song?
Definitely not going to see a Sweet Caroline as the walkout song again. I chose something a little different. Still old school music. What do you see different in this one? Well, I know that from the couple videos I've seen of Tanner's fighting style, he's well, at least the one MMA fight. The others are kickboxing. Well, from the one MMA fight, he's a grappler. I've seen him lateral drop the last guy. So we've been working a lot on the ground because we kind of do see it leading to the ground. We've also tightened up some of my boxing skills, so that's improved. And then the weight drop. I've dropped a couple pounds since the last fight.
And Tanner, question for you. Boom, boom, boom. What have you done differently to prepare for this opponent in your camp?
Well, I wasn't really in a gym or on a team before any of my previous fights, except maybe 2. I've just really been grappling a lot and preparing for anything as far as MMA goes. We do a lot of kickboxing, but I've converted the training more to my ground game and my stand-up as well. I'm just excited to come show you guys what I got.
If there are any more final questions from the fans or the media, please send them in now. We'll keep these guys on here just for a couple more minutes. Simeon, you got a question. If you win, will we see another backflip?
Honestly, that backflip was really like last minute. I wasn't even thinking about it, but I could do a backflip. I could do a couple of them. Run off the wall and then do another. I do a couple of them, something. I'd do something special if I win, but I'm not really focused on the backflip. I'm just focused on what the hands do, really.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time for doing this pre-fight press conference, the first, hopefully many, many more. Catch these guys at weigh-ins this Friday night at the historic downtown gym in Sullivan, Indiana at 6:30 p.m. Catch them on Fight Night Saturday, January 27th. First fight is at 5:30 p.m. We're live on pay-per-view thanks to livesportscaster.com. It's going to be a banger of a night. Simeon Teague versus Gabe Eurit can headline any card in the Midwest, and we're glad here at Griggs Entertainment we have it. Thank you again to the food truck, to Chris Ferguson, to Cody Gosnell, Jonathan Fasano, Tanner Thompson, Caleb Mcnight, Doomsday, Gabe, and Simeon. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Hey, we'll see you on Fight Night.
Hey, thanks, man, for having us
Hey,
on.
thank you for having us. I'm ready to put on
Thanks
the
for
show.
having us.
Let's go.
Let's
Can't
go.
wait to have a banger of a night.